Hey guys, so this is a redraft of the 2018 NHL draft, and this is the top 10 of this draft. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and subscribe as we're trying to reach 150 subs by October 1st, so just over 2 weeks to reach that goal. And also for those of you wondering, I will be doing my fourth and final NHL mock draft at the end of the month once the Stanley Cup final is wrapped up, because it will be the whole first round of this year's draft. And we will have the whole draft order determined by then, as the first round of the draft is on October 6th. So make sure to stay tuned for that, as we got 1,500 views on our last one, and we're creeping up on 1.6 thousand views. And we've got over 100 likes, which is great, so hopefully we can reach that, and maybe even crack 2,000 views, and maybe 150 likes for our next video. But for this one, it's just Redraft 2018, and this will be mostly based on how well these players have played in the NHL or whatever league they have played in, and also what their potential is and what their ceiling is, but it's mostly based on the success they have had over the past 2 years. And also, some of it's partly based on the team needs as of right now, as maybe there's two players who are pretty similar level, but one team might take one player over the other because of positional needs. But now let's get started. So with first overall pick, the Buffalo Sabres taking Rasmus Dahlin. They're sticking with their first overall pick, and really the two big options here for Buffalo are Dahlin and Svechnikov, but I think they're going to take Dahlin, as some people may think Svechnikov is a better player, but personally I think they're pretty even level. If not, Dahlin may be a bit better, as Svechnikov has put up tons of points and has had a really good breakout year with the Canes this year. But even though Dahlin won't put up as many points, and he definitely isn't nearly as flashy as a defenseman, I think he's still the better player and has a better ceiling and potential. And I think he has Norris winning potential with the Buffalo Sabres. And the Sabres aren't as good of a team, but I think once guys like Dylan Cousins and all their prospects come up, I think they can be a really good team with Rasmus Dahlin and Jack Eichel. Now at number 2, I have the Canes taking Andrei Svetchnikov. They're again sticking with their number 2 overall pick, and they should be nothing but happy with this pick, as Svechnikov has turned out as good, if not even better, than they expected when they drafted him. Now at third overall, this is where it kind of starts getting interesting. I have the Habs taking Quinn Hughes, who was originally the 7th overall pick to the Vancouver Canucks. And some people may think that Hughes is actually the best defenseman in this class ahead of Dahlin after a really good season this year in which he could win the Calder Trophy. In my opinion, I think he was the second best rookie this year, and he's going to finish second. And I think Makar is kind of the clear winner of the Calder, but Hughes still had a really good year, and the Habs would have loved to take him, even though Kotkaniemi had really good playoffs. The beginning of this year was not great. He got sent down to the AHL. He did play well there, and I think he can be still an elite number 1 center, but Hughes is just at another level, and he could be the number 1 defenseman the Habs need, as Shea Weber is 34 years old. He's just getting older, and if anything, he's regressing. At number 4, I have the Ottawa Senators sticking with their pick and taking Brady Tkachuk, and he originally obviously went to them. And so far, Tkachuk has worked out well. He was a great pick, a big power forward, and I think he's got just less than 50 points for the past 2 years. He's still got the potential of being an elite first-line winger, and he's already a solid second-liner, so Ottawa should be nothing but happy with this pick. Now, at number 5, of the Arizona Coyotes taking Jesperi Kotkaniemi, obviously originally a 3rd overall pick to the Habs. And this is a very close one between Kotkaniemi and Filip Zadina. But the Coyotes needed a center then, and Kotkaniemi is a center, where Zadina is more of a winger. And I think overall Zadina is maybe have a slightly higher ceiling, but Kotkaniemi after this playoffs, and also he had a solid rookie campaign that was very hopeful. I think that he's at a pretty similar level to Zadina, who has had less of a rocky career so far, and he's kind of on track to be a really good NHL player, but the Yotes are taking Kotkaniemi here. At number 6, the Red Wings are sticking with their pick and taking Filip Zadina. With seeing as how the top 5 has went, they shouldn't be really without a question. He is clearly the best player available, and even though he hasn't really played much in the NHL, he has still played a bit, and he's played well in the AHL. I think he can still be a first liner, and he will be a really good player in Detroit. At number 7, the Vancouver Canucks take Noah Dobson. He was originally the 12th overall pick to New York Islanders, and that was a really good pick for them as he dropped out of the top 10. And originally, this is where I think he should have gone in the 7 to 10 range, but he did drop out of the top 10. And Vancouver, they obviously took Hughes originally, but he went to the Habs at 3, so they're just going to go with the next best defenseman available, Dobson, who in my opinion has been the 3rd best defenseman in this draft class. He's played a bit in the NHL for the Isles, and he has played well. And I think he can be a good first pairing defenseman. I see him as more of a number 2 defenseman rather than number 1. But I think he could still turn out to be a number 1 defenseman. And Hughes is definitely in a completely different universe than Dobson. Hughes is a lot better, but Dobson is still a really good player. And they would be happy by taking Dobson, especially seeing the top 6. I think Dobson is the best player available for them to take. At number 8, the Chicago Blackhawks take Adam Boqvist, so they're going to stick with their pick here, and him and Dobson I think are pretty similar. He's the 4th best defenseman in this class with some good defensemen, and the Blackhawks, I think they should be happy. They're sticking with their pick here at number 8. Now at number 9, the New York Rangers are taking Oliver Wallstrom, originally the 11th overall pick to the Islanders, and he played well in the United States National Team Development Program, and I think he should have been a top 10 pick as well, but him and Dobson both dropped to the Isles at 11 and 12, and the Rangers should be happy with this pick. They originally took Vitaly Kravtsov, and some people think that he shouldn't be that good, and some people think he might actually be a bust. I think he can still be a good second liner, but Wallstrom is definitely the better player. Now to round off this draft class, or this mock draft, at number 10, I have the Edmonton Oilers taking fellow American and US NTDP player alumni Joel Farabee. He was originally the 14th overall pick to the Flyers, and I think he's actually the most underrated player in this draft class, as most people tend to pay attention to Dahlin, Svechnikov, Hughes, Tkachuk, Kotkaniemi, all these guys in the top 6, even in the top 9. But most people kind of leave out Farabee as one of the best players in this draft class. But he kind of got overlooked by Wallstrom in the US NTDP, and he actually has played very, very well so far. And he had a really good rookie season with the Flyers, which has been overlooked. And he's exactly what the Oilers need, as the Oilers originally took Evan Bouchard, but they took Phil Broberg 8th overall last year. So that's another defenseman, and they don't really need another second pairing future defenseman, as they already have Broberg, as I just mentioned, and they also have Ethan Bear, who's a good young defenseman, Oscar Klefbom, as well as Adam Larson, and Caleb Jones can be pretty good as well. I feel like I'm forgetting someone else here. But right now the Oilers need a winger alongside Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and Farabee can be just that, as him and Kailer Yamamoto make up 2 solid wingers to go along with these 2. And I think Farabee could potentially be a first liner, if not definitely a really good second liner. And he would help Edmonton a lot, as their biggest need is obviously a winger next to their 2 superstar centers, in my opinion, 2 of the top 3 players in the NHL. So there's my redraft. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe. But thank you for watching. If you want more mock drafts, comment down below. We'll see you in the next one.